A long time.
Yes.
Fire away.
Well, how's the first day of practice back?
It was actually our second day. We got one in on Saturday, which was more generic. It was Saturday was just kind of UCLA. Today we started to work on Nebraska, and I thought it was really good. Saturday was great. We had a lot of recruits in. Had a really spirited practice. They seemed excited to be back on the field. And then the same thing today. You saw at the end of the practice, they're fired up. So it's good. I like the energy. We just got to maintain it and keep having good practice so we play well on the 26th.
So already into game prep. So
well, you know, when you have this extra week and you know you're going to be going on the road into a kind of an unfamiliar environment, what we found, especially the last 2 years, is that if we can take this week and do most of our preparation here at home, where we're on a really consistent schedule, ascend and grow and stay confident, stay focused and work at his craft. And now he's become this remarkably consistent college kicker that we depend on, that we trust, that everybody respects, and that he's, you know, recognized nationally for that is fantastic for him. It's great for this program, and I want him to have one more great game, and I can't wait to watch him kick on Sundays.
What is he like away from the field? Like, what's his
Steady
personality
Eddie.
like?
Yeah, he's just, you know, I think sometimes kickers have had reputations of being somewhat flaky. I've been fortunate to be around some of the greats, and I was able to coach on a staff with Gary Anderson, with Morton Anderson. I mean, I forget them, but I think 3 or 4 guys that are some of the all-time best, and they all had this strength of personality that Kaimi has. You know, they weren't flaky. They were focused. They had a plan for how they prepared, how they evaluated themselves. You know, how they practiced. And Kaimi has learned that at a very young age, and we've just seen the results of it in his consistency.
status of the team in terms of injuries coming back?
I don't know yet. I mean, we've got some guys that are banged up still. That, you know, I think by the time we get to San Francisco or through the end of this week, hopefully most of the guys will be back. We held some guys inside today. We had some guys outside, you know, doing some work with Coach Alosi. My gut feeling is, and just talking to our medical staff, is that most of the guys should be ready to go for the bowl game. But we'll see. I mean, it's just kind of fluid right now.
How's the offensive line after losing Ulu Perry in terms of depth?
Well, we're hurting in depth, you know, and Freddie was a great kid. He is a great kid. He is a great kid. He just had a real homesickness for the islands. And, you know, something that he tried hard to overcome, and he just couldn't do it. So it looks like he's going to transfer to Hawaii, and we wish him the best. He's a wonderful young man, and we just want him to be happy and experience success. But it definitely hurts our depth. You know, you guys, you know that if we can keep those first 5 guys playing, then we'll be okay. When we lose a guy, you know, we have to kind of mix and match. But they've worked hard.
When those first 5 are intact, they're
right now. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we'll see as we go. I mean, there's guys banged up. You know, Christian Garcia was in there today with the first unit, which is actually very good for him to get that work. You know, I can't say that Caleb's 100% yet. Connor seems like he's okay. We'll see. You know, Jake, he'll talk to you here in a minute. I think he's okay. So
Alex Weber?
He's okay as far as I know. We'll see. I haven't talked to him.
With some of those guys that were out for the season, like Tavita and Baby and all those guys, how are their rehabs going? Eddie Vanderdos and
really good. I mean, but they're a ways away.
Yeah.
You know, when you blow out your knee, or you know, you had the break like Tavita had, I think it's more than you know, a few month injury or recovery. You know, you'd hope that that they could be doing some things in spring, but we'll see. You know, I think the most important thing is that they get completely healthy before we put them back out here and expose them to risk again. But they should all be ready to go at least by fall camp.
How's Mossy Johnson?
Same, you know, he's recovering fine, and you know, he's a little bit further behind those other guys because his injury occurred later in the season. But he's walking around. I was with him Thursday, and he says it's going well. You know, so we'll see. I know Eddie's really doing well, but he's, you know, I think he was the first guy hurt. So Fabian seems to be doing well.
Have Fabian and Eddie indicated whether they'll come back?
Yes, Fabian has indicated to me that he'll come back. Yeah. I haven't had anyone indicate that they're not coming back yet. And they don't have to declare for a while. And we've had some guys put in for their draft status. So the NFL, you know, will evaluate them, and they'll tell them whether they believe that they have a chance to be a first-round pick, a chance to be a second-round pick, or they don't go any past that, any further than that. You know, other than that, it's always a recommendation to come back to school. So we've had a few guys that have put in for an evaluation, which is normal. We always do. So we'll see how it comes back from those guys.
When do you normally have those conversations?
Just at various times. I mean, usually this period of time, you know, after the season or after the bowl game. It depends on each of them. I think a lot of those guys want to see what their draft grade comes back as, and then we'll talk.
So how does it affect your recruiting? Not knowing some of these guys might be leaving.
Well, we'll know by, you know, it's a dead period right now, and we're recruiting hard. We spent all last week out on the road. It doesn't really, you know, we'll know before really the period recruiting opens up again. But we're going to recruit hard to fill every position, and I don't know if it affects us. It might affect, you know, some of the players that are considering coming here. You know, if they think that they have a path to play that's a little bit quicker than maybe sitting around and, you know, working their way in. So we'll see.
Is the plan for Scott to play at center once he's healthy enough to come back?
And that's the plan initially, but he can play guard as well. He's really done a nice job in his recovery. He gets some practice snaps now and again. You know, not full contact, but you know, I think right now that we would slate him as the center. Correct? Yeah, he's very intelligent. He's much like Jake. He's consistent, and then, you know, hopefully he recovers well and stays healthy. You know, it's been a tough road for him.
Josh has the misfortune of not having a game right after the USC game. How has he handled that game, and how's he bounced back?
Great. He's, you know, Josh is, he takes all of this very, very seriously, and was disappointed in the results of that game. But, you know, I was sitting on my couch on Sunday morning in the tank, and Josh just walked in my house, didn't even knock, just walked in the house and laid down on the couch next to me and said, "We got it. We'll be all right. We're gonna, you know, we'll get over it." So it's kind of interesting when an 18-year-old kid's trying to pick you up, but that's kind of the way he is. And we hung out for an hour or so, watched some games, talked football, and talked about what had happened. And I just love his mindset. You know, he's like all great performers. They can put performances that were positive or performances that were negative in the past and move on, and that's how he is.
Did he watch a lot of film on that, or same
on
as
the game?
on the USC game, or same
Afterwards?
as any game? Yeah.
I didn't ask him if he watched it. You know, knowing Josh, he probably did. But, you know, Josh has got one of those minds where I'm not sure how much film of himself he needs to watch. He has this incredible gift for being able to have instant recall as to what just happened, what he saw, why he made a decision, what a defense was doing, you know, what the breakdown was on offense. And it's pretty rare the way he sees the game. But I don't know if he watched it. I'm sure he probably did. I didn't ask him. So, okay.